Welcome, graduates, family, friends, alumni, faculty, and staff, to the Harvard College Midyear Graduates Recognition Ceremony. This event, which is a long-standing tradition organized by the Harvard Alumni Association, is an opportunity for us to recognize and celebrate the amazing accomplishment of the members of the November 2020 and March 2021 class of Harvard College graduates. My name is Samira Miller, and I am the first marshal of the 2021 class committee. Class committees are formed in the senior year and continue into alumni life and connect classmates to each other and Harvard. Whether you choose to affiliate with the class of 2021 or another class year, your class committee will continue to support you all throughout alumni life. I'm delivering this message from my home in New Orleans, Louisiana, and you all are receiving it all over the world. Graduates, though we are unable to be together physically to celebrate your amazing accomplishment, I am so glad that we are able to be together virtually to celebrate you, especially during these unprecedented circumstances. Now, I am excited to kick off the program with our first speaker, Rakesh Khurana, Danoff Dean of Harvard College, Maurer Boer Professor of Leadership Development at the Harvard Business School, and Professor of Sociology in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. Please join me in welcoming Dean Khurana.
Thank you, Samira. I'm delighted to congratulate you, the newest cohort of Harvard College graduates, on the successful completion of your undergraduate degrees. Parents, guardians, family, professors, tutors, resident deans, faculty deans of houses, and friends of our graduates, I'd like to take this opportunity to also acknowledge each of you and what you have done to support our scholars over the past several years. On behalf of the college and your students, I thank you for all your love, support, and good work. It's by now a cliche to say that this has been a year like no other in recent memory. Today, as we celebrate your many accomplishments, we cannot also look away from the unspeakable loss of so many lives to COVID-19, from the ongoing racial and economic injustices in this country, or from the damage that has been done by the lies told by those we should be able to trust. But throughout this difficult fall semester, as the daily headlines threaten to numb us to the dreadfulness of this political moment, you continue to work from all over the world on your scientific research, on creating art and writing, on registering voters and protesting and planning, and you gave all of us who are fortunate enough to work with you a reason to be optimistic about the future. Midyear graduates, I feel a special bond with each of you. I, too, was a December graduate. It was not something I had planned when I started college, but it turned out to be one of the best things that has ever happened to me. In fact, graduating in December was one of the first real unplanned events in my life. However, as it turned out for me, and will for you, our unplanned detours can lead to some of the most magical and exhilarating experiences of our lives, despite the momentary shock and reconsideration they can cause. One of the challenges for me when I was a student was getting used to the fact that my life could not always be planned. This can be particularly hard to accept here at Harvard, a place where students often come in knowing at 18 years old what they want to do for the rest of their lives and developing a checklist of classes, concentrations, and extracurricular activities. But then, as you December graduates know, life intervenes and we have to grapple with uncertainty. And it is in those moments of uncertainty that we encounter serendipity. At Harvard, Housing Day is one of those first encounters with serendipity. Moments where students don't really control the outcome and where the results, unexpected friendships, exploration of the neighborhood surrounding the quad, a conversation you would never have had that sets you on a different path and can change your life. We can prepare ourselves to some extent for the fact that big events like Housing Day or college graduation may have unexpected outcomes. But in our daily lives, it is difficult to stay open to the unexpected. Our postmodern techno-culture, big data, anticipating your needs, if you like this movie, you might like this other one, creepy Black Mirror world where we post every book, movie, meal, or experience to 1,000 so-called friends and wait their judgment of whether the herd deems it like-worthy, conspires against serendipity. Instead of browsing for books and coming across something interesting but unplanned, we go right to a particular book on Amazon. Instead of listening to an album and discovering a not popular but amazing song that speaks directly to us, we just tell Alexa or Siri to play our favorite song over and over again. Our approach to life then becomes increasingly mechanical. Our choices are too often now the outcomes of symbolic manipulations. Quantification, abstraction, bureaucratization, the very characteristics of our information society are the principles of operating systems in artificial intelligence, not human systems and intelligent ways of living life. A real life, as opposed to a mechanical one, is by its very nature unpredictable. Our choices should be influenced by the forces of life, such as love, stimulation, example, not by an algorithm designed to get us by things or activate our emotions to see our fellow humans as the other or threatening. In order to become free and independent, we must be conscious of those forces that constrain us and not be fearful of change. Liberation is the result of awareness and effort. We have a choice between being alive or being as predictable as a light switch. Without those moments of serendipity, we risk leading lives that are extremely efficient but monstrously dull. It is those unexpected moments that can make life both messy and majestic. For me, as a super senior at Cornell, serendipity happened 30 years ago, almost to the day. I had just accepted a job to become a bond trader at one of the most prestigious firms in the industry. However, I still had one more interview for a different position, and I thought it would be rude to cancel. So I went to that interview, and it changed my life. The interview was for a job that was risky compared to the one I had in hand. A small technology startup with just a few people, lots of uncertainty, no cachet. But I was really taken by the passion and intelligence of the person interviewing me. And so, after some internal debate, I ended up listening to my heart and not the noise. And because I went to that interview that day, I can trace the entire thread of my life and everything good that has happened to me since to serendipity. I left that job a long time ago, but that person who interviewed me is now my wife, my partner, my one true love, Stephanie. Looking back, I can see the thread connecting those experiences. If I hadn't stepped off the expected path and become a December graduate, if I hadn't kept that interview appointment, if I hadn't been willing to change course after accepting that other job. But at the time, of course, I didn't know how it would all turn out. I was leaping into the unknown. As December graduates, you've already taken an important step off the path you anticipated when you arrived here. You have departed from the script. As super seniors, during this unprecedented remote semester, you have had to experience Harvard in uncharted ways, through discovery and chance. And in doing so, you have had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That flexibility and strength will serve you well as you take the next steps down one path or swerve into another. I hear often from students that the path to Harvard rewards the risk averse, and so they develop the habit of avoiding anything that could lead to failure. I know that your experiences at Harvard have helped you to stop fearing failure, or at least to refuse to let that fear rule your life. I hope we helped you understand that the unplanned and the serendipitous are part of the learning process, not your enemy, but a challenging friend. I hope that we have helped you find the courage to meet the obstacles in your path. Courage, after all, is the willingness to see beauty and hope in the world, even when experiencing life's challenges and ugliness. And I hope we have helped you understand that the only real failure would be not to attempt anything at all. Being open to the unplanned is not just about seeking a life that is personally fulfilling. As a national and global society, we face unprecedented challenges and opportunities. As has become painfully clear this year, solving problems and making positive changes are not endeavors that can be met by consulting a checklist or following a script. They will require being open to new ways of doing things. I believe that your Harvard degree will open doors for you, but you will have to decide which doors to enter and which to pass by. And if by serendipity an unexpected door opens, I hope you will take a look inside. I hope that your time at the college has given you more than competence, more than connections, more than confidence. I hope that you will take with you the critical capacity and courage to challenge prejudices, stereotypes, and poorly constructed arguments of all kinds. I hope you are leaving us with an independent mind, a spirit that dares to explore, a commitment to inclusivity, and a heart that reaches out to others. And I hope that you will have the will to shape the future. I hope that as the years pass, that you will love this imperfect but striving college as I do. It has its flaws, it has its problems, but I do believe it is the greatest place in the world because it is not simply about bringing people together who are the best in the world, but rather about bringing people together who want to be their best for the world. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the mid-year graduate speaker, Kimberly Wu, the class of 2020. Before Kimberly speaks, our graduates are asked, quote, "What has your Harvard experience prepared you for or taught you?" End quote. You'll now see a compilation of photographs as they answer that question. Good luck, and may the unknowable grace that emanates from each of you continue to guide you and protect you.
In alignment with the entirety of my Harvard experience, I'm letting go of perfect and going with what's real for this. What I've learned at Harvard is that excellence is not the same as perfection. Aiming for excellence is great, but only if you remember that excellence involves trying, and trying means that you're practicing, and practicing means that you're learning something. So you're going to screw up. Excellence isn't about being right. It's about getting things wrong, missing the mark completely, and then being brave enough to come back and figure out your mistakes, trying again. It's not about perfection. It's about that aiming high, knowing at times that you will inevitably fall. It doesn't matter how much we fall. It's all about the willingness to acknowledge that you've fallen and that there's embarrassment and disappointment that comes with screwing up and still coming back. Honestly, I wasn't sure if graduation would ever actually come for me. In all honesty, I wasn't prepared to make this address at all, because while I'd been told I was nominated, it didn't feel like something that was real, because I feel like I've been waiting for graduation forever. I came to Harvard as a student in 2007. I transferred in. I was a single mom of a 4-year-old girl at the time, and I was older. I was different. It felt awkward, and I was scared that I wasn't good enough to be here. I was worried about what people would think, and once I was in the classroom, I was worried about what people weren't thinking, because I experienced being clueless for the first time in my life. There is nothing quite like feeling confused and looking around and realizing that everyone else is understanding. It raises deep, dark fears in us that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough or strong enough. And there's times here when each of us has felt distinctly inadequate. For us mid-year graduates, we've dealt with self-doubt that extends beyond the traditional student experience. We've had to evaluate what it means to be good enough, not so much for our peers or professors or families, but for ourselves. We've had to figure out how our decisions balance with the expectation of others, and if those expectations match our own, and how much each one matters. How much should I be willing to sacrifice of myself for school? Do I want to be at Harvard for 8 semesters? Do I want to take on an accelerated course load and shorten my time here to move on to something greater but unknown? Some of us have had to debate taking more time to finish than we once planned. And that brings questions like, will taking a semester off mean that I'll feel left behind? Is taking care of my needs going to make me look weak? What will it feel like to be back after my friends graduate? Will I be alone? And after all this thinking, what it comes down to is the same for all of us: not knowing. Not knowing for certain if we were making the right call, but committing to the pursuit of excellence and trying anyways, because we just don't know how life will unfold. We can't know. We can hope, but we can't know. And 2020 has been all about that. It's been a year of hope and hope lost and hoping again. We felt it globally, biologically, politically, academically, and socially. As the months have passed, it's become clearer and clearer that no one really has much of a clue about anything anymore. I mean, we all to varying degrees pretend like we know what's going on. But there's been some real times in 2020 where we end up on Zoom for class, not knowing if we're going back, when, how, and realize that nothing's exactly like we expected it to be or anywhere near it. But I ask you, has anything about Harvard been exactly what we imagined it would be? Us mid-year graduates, we've learned to adjust. We've learned to use time to our advantage, making ourselves speed up or slow down, stay in harmony with it. And we've learned to sit with the awkwardness that comes with feeling out of sync and the disappointment that comes with this weird 2020 culmination. I know I wanted to graduate on stage in a cap and gown with 30,000 people watching, but instead I'm sitting in my living room talking to my laptop and wondering if anyone will actually watch this. But that's okay. Because messed up as 2020 is, we're still aiming for excellence. What we bring to the Alumni Association, the gift that we give to them, is our unique ability to understand what it means to be great when nothing else is. We know how to adapt. We know how to fill in gaps that weren't supposed to be there in the first place, and some of us know how to get stuff done fast. We are impressive because of the ways that we've been different. We are impressive because we've chosen to come back. Maybe this isn't what we planned, but being flexible, swaying in the wind, learning to ride those waves, those are the skills of survival. And we've done more than that. Our survival has been thriving because this is Harvard. This institution is an impressive place to be. And no matter how much we may begrudgingly joke about the mixed messages of morality and equity and equality that this place presents, we've done something extraordinary here. And that matters. We're Harvard students, and soon we'll be Harvard graduates. And it feels good. Congratulations to you all. And now we'll hear from Harvard Alumni Association Executive Director Philip Lovejoy, who will share more about our alumni community and how we can be an active part of it as new alumni.
Thank you, Kimberly. First and foremost, congratulations. And congratulations as well to your families and friends who helped support you on your journey here today. It is my great pleasure to welcome you as graduates to the Harvard Alumni Association. As alumni, you are joining a global network of nearly 400,000 citizens of Harvard from across the university, including almost 100,000 alumni from the college. Whatever your next step, the Harvard alumni community is your community, now and in the years to come. While at Harvard, you have built communities, both in person and virtual. You have made friendships that will be lifelong. I'm here to let you know that this experience of growing and building your Harvard community doesn't end after you graduate. You'll continue to form new bonds with fellow alumni as you strengthen friendships that started on campus. As you graduate and emerge from the walls of Harvard, and as the world emerges from the pandemic, a world of Harvard alumni will greet and welcome you wherever you are. Dean Khurana shares the college's mission often. As many of you likely know, an important part of this mission is for Harvard to educate citizen leaders. At the Harvard Alumni Association, where our mission is to connect alumni to each other and back to the university, we think about citizenship a lot. Through our work, we look to help you remain engaged as citizens of Harvard, and we are always in need of leaders. So I ask you to take the Harvard College mission to heart by becoming citizen leaders in your alumni communities. There are countless examples of how graduates before you have done this, footsteps you can follow, or inspiration you can use to develop new ways of strengthening our community. I offer a couple here. The Social Media Ambassador Program is a volunteer opportunity connecting alumni with Harvard news, HAA stories, multimedia pieces, and upcoming events. You can sign up at crimsonconnect.socialtoaster.com. And you can support your class committee and build class community by serving as an activities chair. Activities chairs are college alumni volunteers who organize regional programming for their class and with other recent grad classes by working with other chairs. In addition to organizing original class-specific programming, activities chairs have also helped to plan and market events like Welcome to Your City, when young alumni across the globe come together in the fall to welcome recent college graduates into their communities. If you're interested, please reach out to a member of your class committee. You can also find and get involved with Harvard clubs in nearly 200 cities across the globe, or join one of the 60 shared interest groups which connect alumni around profession, interest, identity, and more. Very soon, you'll start to see a lot of email from the Harvard Alumni Association. Please open those messages. Through them, we're letting you know about events, resources, and opportunities to network and build your community of Harvard alumni. You should also follow @Harvard Alumni on Instagram and Twitter. But why, you might ask, do we at the HAA encourage this engagement? Why do we want you to stay involved? Because your Harvard community needs you just as much as you need it. As Harvard alumni, you help steward the university into the future. You keep Harvard honest, forward-thinking, and innovative, and you ensure Harvard always strives to be a better version of itself. I like to think of alumni as citizens of Harvard because as alumni, you have responsibilities to this institution, much as you have responsibilities to the countries of which you are citizens. We have responsibilities to each other and to our countries to care, to participate, to be present, and be engaged. An obligation to vote, to speak up, to listen, to bring others together. Even as you leave campus, it's still important to stay informed about what's happening at Harvard and to advocate for and defend the core values that underpin the university's mission. As graduates, you now have a voice in the governance of Harvard through elections for the Board of Overseers. I encourage you to exercise your right to vote when you receive your ballot. As an alumni volunteer, you can work to bring the Harvard community together both to celebrate achievements and to listen to and engage with one another. Through these actions, you continue to support the university and our Harvard community, much like alumni have done throughout Harvard's history. Harvard continues to excel because alumni, like you and your classmates, will never stop striving to ensure Harvard continues its pursuit of excellence. Together, you will shape and sustain Harvard into its 5th century as you make your own mark on the world. The Harvard Alumni Association is here to provide the resources to support you in these efforts and in your life's goals. So as you go forth, seek out alumni communities wherever you are, be they your friends, mentors, fellow alumni in your city, a Harvard club, a shared interest group. There are countless ways to stay connected. Go forth into the world and wear your Harvard affiliation with pride. Show the world who Harvard is today and what we represent. You are Harvard, and Harvard needs you. Go forth and lead, and come back and lead. Thank you, and once again, congratulations on an incredible accomplishment.
Thank you to all of our speakers, and thank you to everyone who joined us today to celebrate our graduates. Let's just take one more moment for them. Congratulations, you did it.